What happened when Nick hit that room, and was he sober?
Not at all. You know, Kevin, I went to Atlanta to interview Nick. When I got there, the interview became an intervention because when we get to Atlanta, his lawyers who we were talking to said, listen, he is out of control. We are afraid he is going to be dead if something doesn't happen. We can't control him. The thing is, you've got a huge emotional overlay to this. What would happen is he would go from being able to talk like we're talking right now to just all of a sudden collapsing and just wailing. And then he would pull out his phone and he would turn on a Whitney song and just start crying.
What kind of behavior is that? What does that say to you,
well,
as a professional?
He's telling me, and what he's saying is, look, I feel a huge amount of guilt here. He says, my job, from the time I moved in with these people, my job was to protect Whitney and protect Chrissy, as he refers to Bobbi Kristina, to protect Chrissy. Whitney's dead, Bobbi Kristina's in a coma. I have failed them horribly. And he said, I feel terribly guilty about that. And so he would just, and then he says, I'm in such pain, I want to be with her, and they won't let me be with her. I want to be there. I want to stroke her hair. I want to touch her. I want to kiss her forehead. I want to be there. I want her to hear my voice.
Do you believe that there were drugs involved, and do you believe that he was using as well as giving?
Well, all I know is the time I spent with him, he was definitely abusing alcohol and says that he was taking drugs in the time that I was with him. What happened the night that this occurred, I haven't had the chance to ask him about that yet. What I want to know, and what I went there to find out, is this a kid that got caught up in this rocket-fueled life of fame and rock and roll, and then the trauma that has happened, or was he the trauma?
Would you allow Nick Gordon ever to be around the family or Bobbi Kristina if she comes out of that coma again? Would you allow him to be in that mix, or does he need to be taken out forever?
Well, I think I need to hear from him when he's sober enough to answer questions. I need to ask him the questions. I need to find out what he has to say. What I know so far is what I've heard from him during an intervention. And my focus at that time is I didn't want a third tragedy. I mean, his own lawyers are telling me they fear for his life. You know, my first consideration is I don't want him dead. I don't want him overdosed. I want to save this kid's life.
And that was a real concern for you when you saw him?
Oh, very much a concern. If he could have run into traffic, he could have run off a balcony. This guy was out of control. He needed to be reined in. He needed to be under control. He was emotionally charged and he was high as a kite. He needed to be under control. And at this point, we do have him in rehab. How long he stays, how far into the program he gets, we'll see.